Hear me out now. Turn it up loud. Coach Delson, Coach Butts. We gon' break it all down. Hear me out.
All right, welcome back to Hear Me Out with Elzy and Butts. And I am Butts, and we're ready to get this thing started.
Another episode. Let's go. Let's go. We cannot start this episode without giving a shout out to the Aces for winning a WNBA championship. What did you think about the games, the players? Give me your take on it.
Aces with the sweep. I mean, there's not a whole lot of takes, right? The Aces did a phenomenal job securing the victory against a good Phoenix team. I can't say they're playing in the championship, so obviously, but the Aces were just too strong. They were too strong in every area, namely Asia Wilson. The area of Asia Wilson. It's just obviously she didn't win it by herself, but she's such a huge part of that franchise and what they are doing. So special shout out to the Aces for sure.
Yeah, and Nikki Fargas, former Lady Vol. We're so proud of you. We keep it in the family, 161. But back to Asia Wilson. Feed the beast. Her ability. Now, obviously, we've had I don't know if it's an honor or pleasure.
There was no pleasure involved.
To coach against her. But to see how much she has grown from her early days at South Carolina. Now, she was still giving us buckets, but
Absolutely.
Where she has grown, I mean, her ability to score the basketball, the versatility that she brings.
Giving it to you any way you want it.
I'm an A1 fan. Woo. I'm an A1 fan. But, also, if you follow their story, they were struggling early.
They were.
And people had kind of counted them out. I always love a Cinderella story. And for them to kind of change their lineup, their players bought in, to different roles, and to see them win at the end. I mean, that's what it's about in coaching. The progress, the growth, doesn't matter how you start. It's how you finish.
It's always how you finish. It's always how you finish. And what better way? I mean, I think she had a clean sweep of the awards as well. I mean, she absolutely represented herself, her family, her fans, her university that she played for, her coaches. I'm sure everybody is extremely proud. And also, there's a special fan in the audience that I know was proud too, Mr. Bam.
Bam!
And we know a little bit about Bam. Bam was at Kentucky during our time there. He was an absolute awesome individual. I mean, obviously he was a really good basketball player, but he was always super mannerable. He would, speak to you in the halls. He was just really friendly, just an overall good person. And so to see a true love and basketball connection is pretty good, especially when both of them are special players.
Absolutely. But now Asia Wilson did her thing, but let's not leave out Jackie Young.
You can't.
Woo!
Special.
The ability to defend, score. She has that killer in her. Special.
You know what? She's got the juice. She has got the juice.
You got to like players with juice.
No doubt about it.
And I just think what all the ladies in the W have done, it has brought such great exposure to women's basketball. And I love that not just women are going to the games and we get out and watch some of the WNBA games, but to see men in ladies' jerseys and little kids and little boys that love the women in the W. We're moving in the right direction. Not where we need to be, but definitely moving in the right direction.
I could not agree with you more on that note. And, to see Asia obviously, become a Nike athlete, get her own shoes. And by the way, I think she's going to release another colorway here pretty soon. And it's hard times out there now, Asia. There's all of these Nike releases, but the fans are eating it up. They're buying it. They're supporting. And you love to see it.
as she should. And she's waited her time, her turn, and she's getting the love that she has deserved all along. So shout out to you, Asia, and all the aces, and just the W. I thought it was a great season, especially once the finals started. Um, you know, you got to love when
It's good
women's
for the game.
basketball is doing great.
Good for the
So
game.
but hear me out. Who are some of your favorite teams in the W? Your favorite players? You know, Butts, we are going to be in real trouble if we don't say Ron Howard is one of our favorites. So
Absolutely,
shout
Ron
out to
Howard.
the Atlanta Dream as well. They had an unbelievable year, coach of the year. I thought they had a phenomenal season down the stretch. What Ra was able to do, we're proud of her.
Had a really good run. I was unfortunately at the game, their final game versus the Indiana Fever. But obviously, the Indiana Fever had a good run as well. You don't want that to go unnoticed. But from the dream standpoint, it's good to go out and be able to support a former player and have someone to cheer for and to back. And obviously, she's gonna continue to have a phenomenal career and chasing championships.
Hey, we're here for it. Can't believe basketball season is around the corner already.
It's
It's
starting.
here. It's starting. Are you ready? What teams are you cheering for this year in college? Who are some of your favorite college players this year? Hear me out. We want to know. Let us know. Let us know. Now, there's one team that you automatically need to say
For sure.
for sure, but you know what it is.
Definitely the Duke Blue Devils, baby. I
Yes,
will be
sir.
cheering for the Duke Blue Devils. I will also be cheering for my alma mater in the University of Tennessee. I have to support the Lady Vols, but I support everybody, because I have a lot of friends that are still in the game, that are still doing their thing on the sidelines, and I support them as well.
Now, Coach, I do have to ask, now that you are not coaching and you're watching, do you get more nervous watching your friends that coach because you don't know the scheme and what's supposed to be happening? Or do you just kind of watch the game?
Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's a good question because I think it's a little bit of both. I try, I start out trying to just watch, and then it turns into knots and nerves and a mixture of all the things, right? Because I still talk to my friends, right? I,
Yeah.
I I still have that connection. So after that game, that tough game, it's still like, oh man, I saw what happened, in the fourth, or I saw what happened in the third, or what about this and what about that? So it's definitely rough. I sweat a lot during during the games. I think I rebound. My stat line looks really good when you guys play
Oh, I love
because
it.
I've defended. I've got a couple deflections because, of course, I'm coaching. Like, get your hands up, and I've boxed out a few times.
Yeah. Well,
I've
we'll
I've
take it.
pushed. I've given a little nudge or two, right?
We'll
But yeah,
take
I
it.
think watching the games for me is pretty exciting. But it also feels really good to not have that after the game where I have to go and read the film and to do those things and to worry about, all right, how am I going to help this kid sleep tonight? Those were some big free throws that we didn't get down the stretch. Because, as athletes, we take that stuff home with us.
You take it home. You
And,
absolutely do.
unlike when we were playing, if we screwed up, right? I can think back to my screw up at La Tech. We were at La Tech. We should have won a game. I turned the freaking ball over at halftime. We get beat at La Tech. I mean, not halftime, at half court. I don't have social media
Right.
to look at to tell me all about what I should have done and how I messed up the team. But now the kids have that, and sometimes that's not very good for them.
Right. And you always, as a coach, hope that they can block out the noise. But everybody's human. And so, me personally, I don't get on during the season to read any
Please don't.
comments because it's not good for my mind or anyone else's. However, but for the players, it's like their newspaper. So they are on social media. So just trying not to take it personal, but it is
Right.
personal. And like you said, we didn't have that. So, that is a different element of coaching that you never had to worry about before because, if we did mess up, it was going to come out in the newspaper, but you had to wait for it to be printed. By that time, we were already playing another game.
On to the next game,
We're
right?
on to the next. So, but I do find when I watch my friends play, I'm more nervous watching than when I'm coaching. Because when you're coaching, you're
Yes.
in the heat of the battle. You can only focus on what it's happening. You know the game plan. You know what y'all are talking about as far as what the adjustments are going to be. I feel like when I'm watching my friends play, I'm like, I wonder, was that what they were supposed to be doing? Were they trying
Yes.
to run that? Was
Is
that the
that what we were
defense?
supposed to do on the ball
What
screens, or
is
were
the
we
ball
supposed
screen?
to? Were we
Absolutely,
supposed to hard head that? Were we supposed to trap that? Were we supposed to ice that? I don't know
absolutely.
what we were doing there, but I don't think we did either of the things that we were supposed to do. But yeah, it's definitely tougher watching. I think it's nerve wracking watching your friends play.
Absolutely. And also, Dexter, my husband, gets on me all the time because our eyes are trained. You can't just watch a game
Yeah.
just to watch it for fun, whether you're watching the NBA, men, women. When you watch a game, you watch what they're doing, you watch the adjustments. You can't just watch it. And I tried to explain that to him. I was like, it's like a dentist. When a dentist is out, I'm sure they're looking at people's teeth because that's what they do for a living.
Right.
Or a nail technician. They're
Right.
looking at people's hands and toes because that's what they do for a living. So, for all my coaches out there, when you watch a game and you're not coaching, even though you might want to turn your brain off just to watch the game and enjoy it, can you?
I
In
doubt it.
retirement, I hope I can, but right now, I can't. And I don't think we ever will be able to because it's what we've done, it's
Mhm.
what we know.
I would agree. I would agree. It's tough. It's difficult. I'm in that space right now, and it's difficult.
Well, hear me out. Let me know. Do you watch the games for fun if you're a coach, or can you um, just sit back and watch it, or are you watching for adjustments? As we transition on to relationships.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
oh, let's
Uh
get
oh. Uh
into it.
oh.
The good stuff that the people are waiting for. So, you personally, before I ask our viewers, because you and I are very opposite when it comes
You
to
think?
how we approach, well, a lot of things, but relationships definitely. Um, I guess I'm a little more traditional. I would
Hmm.
say you're a little
Hmm.
more outside the box, safe, but outside the box. So I'll explain further. So for you, would you be willing to ask a man on a date?
Oh, wow. Would I be willing to ask? Um, yes, I think so. I think, man, what type of date? I guess
A
is it
date
just
is a date.
like,
Uh oh. You're starting to act like my players right now. A date is a date. Going on a date means
um,
you and another person are going on a date. You're going out somewhere.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be situational for me. I'm not sure I would be willing, like, because I feel like if he wanted to go out with me, he would ask me to go out.
Mhm.
So part of me would like to think if I was friends and acquaintances with someone and I wanted to go out on a date. See, I don't think I would be saying it's a date. I like, hey, do you want to go to movie? Want to get grab something to eat? I eat all the time. You know that. So
Okay, we're talking about a date. Like you have
romantic
interest.
involvement date.
Yes, you have interest. You go out to eat with all your friends. So that is not a date. I'm
Um,
saying if you were interested in dating someone, would you ask them out on a date?
I would like to think I'm advanced enough and more and mature enough to do that. I don't know that I would, but I'd like to think I would.
Okay,
I'd
so
like to
what would your
say
pickup
yes
line
to that
be?
question.
Okay, yes. Okay,
I
I
would like
got
to
it.
say yes.
Okay, so what would your pickup line be?
Oh, geez. I don't have,
How are you going to ask them on a date?
would you like to go out to grab something to eat or go
Leave
to a
it to
movie?
food.
Yeah, we have to eat. I mean, there's no, well, I take that back. We could go to the park. We can go hiking. I mean, there are non-traditional dates. We can go play pickleball. We can
Okay.
go do a lot of things. So I definitely think I would, but I don't know that I would have a pickup line that wouldn't be cheesy anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm waiting. I want to know I want to know how you're going to ask them and what your pickup line would be to get them out
it would
on a
be
date.
just that. Would you like to go on a date? I would love to get to know you a little bit better. Can we go XYZ? That would be it. I'm pretty
That's so
square.
you,
I'm
straightforward. That's so you.
straightforward. I'm pretty square. So this is it.
See me, I am not going to ask a man on a date.
Yeah, I didn't
They're
think
going to
you
have
would.
to ask me on a date. Now, I do think situational. If
Okay.
we've been on 5 or 6 dates and I like them, I then might ask them, do they want to go do things? But I'm not going to ask them on the initial date.
Okay, so you're saying, do you want to go do things? Is that the same as what I was saying? Would you like to go to a movie or
Well,
would you
yeah, it's
like to?
still we're still going on a date, but I'm not going to ask them initially. So if
Okay.
we've been on 5 or 6 dates and I like them, then I would ask them would they want to go on another date that I chose or I planned.
But 5 or 6, not 1 or 2, 5 or 6.
Five or
You need the
six.
5 or 6. Okay.
I need the
Yeah.
5 or 6 because
I
one, I
would
need to know if
like
I like them.
to think that I would ask if I really was into them and I like them. I don't know.
And so
I
that brings me
haven't.
to, well, maybe we should start.
You think that's what it is?
Maybe we should start. That brings me to my next question.
Uh-oh.
Hear me out, viewers. When you are looking for someone to date,
Mm.
do you have a list of things that you are trying to check off? And what if they don't check off on the list, but you potentially like them or have a connection with them?
Okay. List. I do not have a list per se. I
Per
know you
se.
think I have a list. I really don't have, I mean, of course, the things that I look for in my mind are universal to
That's
what
what you say.
mo- to what most people are looking for. Who doesn't want someone nice? Who doesn't want someone who's, and if you want to go to physical, attractive to them? But I know that that's definitely unique to each individual, right? So I just have to be attracted to them. It could be anything that attracts you, but everybody wants to have someone they're attracted to. But if we want to go deeper into the physical, I like nice smiles, right? I like good teeth. I like all that, but who doesn't? I don't know anyone who would say they don't like a nice smile or I'm looking for someone who doesn't have good teeth, right? Nobody says that. So
No, no
the
one
things
says
that I
that.
think I'm looking for are normal things when you're looking for someone that you like. And obviously, you want somebody to be family oriented. And obviously, at our big age, right? Um, Kids, I know that's always like a topic. Like, would you date someone who was either previously married, so now they're divorced, and someone who has kids? And the answer for me, I yes, I definitely would, but it definitely depends on the situation,
How
right?
many kids? How
So
many
how many
kids?
kids? It just depends. Like if you have 3 or 4 and they all have different moms, it's probably dependent. We'd have to talk, right? So depending on the situation, it could work, but I don't know. If you were married and you had 3 or 4 kids by the same woman, your wife, your ex-wife, and now you're divorced, that's something totally different to me than because you were committed, you were in a stable situation. The kids, several kids by several different women, tells me the commitment level isn't there. That all of these things that it could be giving off. So yes, I would, but it would certainly depend on the situation and the person.
Okay. Yeah. Now, too many kids. I wouldn't mind dating. Well, obviously, I'm married, so I'm off. But before marriage, if they had one or two kids, I could definitely see myself doing that. More than that,
But
eh,
I would
eh.
say something. I would a caveat to that is if you have kids, whether you were married previously or not married previously, if you do not have a relationship with your kids. Now, I do understand because I know people will be commenting or have something to say. I do understand that sometimes co parenting can be difficult, right? And there are different dynamics that go along with that to where maybe there's some custody issues, there's some different things that happen. But with integrity, if you do not have a relationship with your kids, I cannot date you.
Hmm.
Because and not just financial, I mean a relationship with your kids. Now if there's a situation where your co-parenting situation with the mom is strained and maybe there are some different things going on and cause you to have a fractured relationship and you are trying to get that, but you guys can't bridge that gap for some reason, that we can talk about that, right? It's situational, but just in general, I think a man or a woman who doesn't have a relationship with their kids, if they don't live with them, I think it would be hard for me um, to date that person seriously because I just think you should have a relationship with the kids and not just financial. I'm not talking about child support. I'm talking about supporting as a parent.
Absolutely, and I agree with you. But I want to go back to your list that is normal for everybody. So hear me out, viewers. I am trying to put Butts on a dating show, Married at First
Oh,
Sight, to be
sheesh.
specific. So, since she gave us her universal list to all my listeners out there, if you have any friends or family members that fit the list that she just gave
Hold
us,
up. Hold up.
please
Hold up.
tag us, DM us, hit us up, let us know. Um, so we can get her on a date. And since now we know that she's willing to
This
ask,
wait, this is all bad. This is
now that
going
we know that
left.
she's
This is
willing
not
to
where
ask,
I
you know,
anticipated this going.
well, we're putting it out there. Just we got to put it out in the universe. You're a good woman. We just need to find you a good man. So we're putting it out there. So as we continue on our relationships, now this actually happened before I got married. How do you feel about a woman hyphenating their name before marriage? Hear me out, viewers. This is a big thing for men. So Dexter, my husband, was keen on no hyphenation. So I said, great, I won't hyphenate it. My name is Kyra Elzy Lander. I didn't put the dash, but my name is Kyra Elzy
with no
Lander.
dash, just straight.
It's just straight, Kyra Elzy Lander. But he and I had a really great conversation about this because I had been in the business for a long time before I ever got engaged. And that's how people know me. My name is Kyra Elsie. And so I decided to keep it. And so professionally, now everyday life, all of my information has Elsie Lander on it. And he was good with that. And that was important to me because I had to marry somebody that was going to let me be me, my own person, my own identity. And then we come together and gel as one. So hear me out. Who has hyphenated their name? Who has kept their name professionally? Who feels strongly against it? And what are some of your thoughts?
Well, I'm the unmarried person on the podcast, so I can speak for the single people, right? She's speaking for the married people. I just think, as a thought, I don't think it's wrong or right. I don't think anything. I think people should do what they feel comfortable with, and I think your reasoning is completely valid. You are a professional person. You were a professional person before you married him. You are a someone who's been in the public, someone who is identified by their last name primarily. Literally people call you by your last name.
That's right.
I call you Elzy. I don't call
Yes.
you Lander. Um, and it's just like
And he
became
calls
your
me
name.
Elsie too.
That, you know what? What is really crazy? You said that, and he does.
Yeah.
He does call you Elsie. Um, and so it makes total sense to me why you would keep it professionally. Although you have, your driver's license, all of those other things are now in your husband's last name. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think if you want to keep that last name, it's fine. If you want to hyphenate it, it's fine. If you don't want to change it, it's fine. I just think it's the two people who were involved in that, it's their decision. And I don't really think it's right or wrong. I think if somebody wants to hyphenate it, because let's say um, I coached this kid at Michigan State, and she had a hyphenated name when I was a coach there. And it was because I don't really know the strong reasons, but getting to know their family, her mother was from a really, you know, uh, powerful family and important family in their era, and so was her father. And my guess is they both had strong names, and neither one wanted their kids to lose their names, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was hyphenated, mom's last name and dad's last name. And I thought that was really interesting, and it made sense to me. But I think also it's so much of a personal choice. I can't look at somebody and say, I can't believe she hyphenated her name, or I can't believe he let her. I I don't like to hear conversations where people say, I would never let my wife or let my someone hyphenate their name, or she must take on my name. Or now, if that's what both of you agree to, I think that's absolutely okay.
Well, I mean,
Either
there's
way.
some men that do not like uh, for their wife to hyphenate their name or keep their last name, and that's okay.
Yeah,
That was
if they
not my
don't like it, that's
testimony.
fine.
That was
But
not my
their wife better
testimony, and
agree with
not
that.
my testimony or my story. And you're
Absolutely.
taking on their name, but some men do get offended by that. But I also think, it's 2025. Women also have a story behind their name and appreciate it. So for me, I'm adding to who I am instead of just dropping the identity of how I've known myself my whole life.
I would agree. I think that's wise. I think I don't disagree with that at all. I think for me, um, if I ever got married, I think I would take that same approach, because professionally, and even though I'm semi-retired, I'm still known as Butts. I mean, everybody pretty much calls me by my last name. Not
Absolutely.
a lot of people call me Naya, which I'm not even sure people know my first name. That's how much and how often people call me by my last name. And I've made that name for myself, and there's an identity behind it. And so I think it's actually just a whole lot bigger than, you know, what sounds better, what looks good. It's like, you know what? This is who I am. I don't want to lose that identity. Even though I'm becoming one with someone else, I'm becoming one with someone else. That doesn't mean I have to lose who I identify as, or, how I identify. So I think making it your middle name is fine. I think if people want to drop it, I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's a
It's just
personal
what they want to
decision.
do.
But my whole point is, I think women should be allowed to make the decision that they want to make. But that's another topic, another conversation, another topic. Don't get me started. You know. So when you think about relationships, marriage is very complex. And there are a lot of things that you have to think about. All my married ladies out there, it is the most amazing. It's kind of like parenting. It's hard. It's beautiful. It's one of the most amazing things that you could do in your life. But some days it's hard, and that's okay too. You love them, can't live with them, can't live without them. But when you think about all the tough conversations that you have to have in marriage counseling, one of them always revolve around money.
Mm.
And so one of the things in premarital counseling that most people go through is, how are you going to separate your money? How are you going to, you're going to have different accounts, you're going to have a joint account, you're going to have individual accounts, how are you going to pay bills, and what works for you. So hear me out, viewers. What do you all do? What do you think is the right way? Everyone has to do what works for their family. But I think it's okay to have multiple accounts from my vantage point. I just think it's okay, because here it is. When you and your husband work, if I would like to go to At Home, which I love that store. I don't buy diamonds, I don't buy expensive things, but I'm going to go to At Home or Bed Bath and Beyond, or buy a whole slew of candles and body spray. And if I want to spend my little $250 doing that, I want to be okay with that. I don't want to have to answer to why I bought 6 candles to put in our room. However, I want my husband to have the same. If he wants to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and eat, or buy a bottle of wine, I don't think I should be nagging him about that either. So I think it's okay, to have some funds that you can do the things that you want to do for yourself or your household. Now you come together and pay the bills, which some people think it's okay just to separate the bills. For our household, we pay them together. But I do think it's okay to have 2 accounts to do individual things. So, what are some of your thoughts and splitting? And hear me out. What do you all think?
Well, I know the folks listening. Again, I would like to put this out there. This is me speaking as a single person who is
Okay.
not married.
Okay.
Because, until it happens, I know people will say that until you're married, you don't know. And then once you get married, you should do XYZ. Me personally, I think again, the two people who are involved in this should make that decision for them. There's no right or wrong answer. If you want to combine all of your assets and all of your money into one account when you get married and you guys feel comfortable with that, do that. And I don't think it's wrong to necessarily do that. That's for you. As for me, I think I will definitely have multiple accounts.
Mhm.
There'll be 2 accounts. And I think making sure that you have the financial talk before you get
Absolutely.
married is before you get engaged. Before me, I think it needs to be something that several conversations, because people don't often feel comfortable talking about finances, right? And putting everything out on the table, especially when you are in that dating phase and you're presenting a certain way, right? You don't want people to know that credit is not that great. You don't want people to know what that history looks like, or you are, acting like you have things that you don't really have. And when it's time to be honest, I think honesty is absolutely imperative when you're talking about combining accounts. But I definitely think it's a personal decision. I personally think I will have there will be a joint account, but there will also be individual accounts.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. And also, how you spend your money is different, and what you deem important for spending your money on. So for Dexter, he loves grass. He wants the grass to be perfect, the mulch to be perfect. Listen, until I got married, I didn't realize how expensive mulch was. I literally saw the bill and I almost passed out. And I was like, I don't even like mulch.
Oh, lawn care is definitely expensive.
It's very
100%. And
expensive.
and I enjoy a nice yard myself. So I'm in that category with Dexter on that one. So I want the lawn to look outstanding. I'll just say that. I want it to look pretty good. Um, but I think you're right. You have to understand, what's important to that other person. And, you can't just be spending money all willy nilly, right?
No, you can't do that. But you
Even if you
also,
have joint
do
or
you have a
separate.
limit?
Ooh,
So, do you have a limit? So, before we spend any money out of our joint account, there is a limit that we cannot go, that we must discuss before and agree on together before we purchase it. So, hear me out, viewers. What is your limit that you and your partner or husband, significant other, doesn't matter, have to discuss before you can purchase it? What would
ooh,
your
that's
limit be?
I don't know. I think that, you know what? I think that also depends on where you both are financially, right? If you have, yeah, it depends. It
No, for
depends.
me, $200 is my limit. That we
No,
we gotta
when
talk.
I'm talking about that, I'm talking about like when you have people who are making millions, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. I don't think their limit is probably going to be, all right, we need to talk about the $200 purchase. They're not going to. I don't think
Even
so.
if I had $1 million, coach, I want to talk about the $200. But this is a
So
person
your
who,
purchase, no matter what tax bracket you're in life, would be all right. If the purchase is over $200, we need
well,
to.
I won't say two, five.
Well,
Five
okay,
hundred. Let's talk about it.
that's
After
where we can go.
five,
But
let's
again,
talk
I
about it.
I think that depend again. My limit would be depending on where we both were and what our financial situation looked like. I think,
Coach, your
and what
limit. You are the person who
and what
has,
you were spending it on.
coach,
Yes, yes,
you will spend $500 on a meal,
I will.
but you don't want to spend 75 cents to upgrade for iCloud storage.
I do not. I do not want to
So,
spend any extra money. Food and experiences I spend money for. And for people who are watching, you can actually see my expressions. So you know that I really enjoy food. I really believe this. But if you're just listening, please understand I absolutely love food and I love to eat and I spare no expense for a meal. But
right,
iron, we were talking
right,
about an iron earlier today that you use to sh- get the wrinkles out of your clothing.
right.
And she's like, "You still have that same iron?" And I'm like, "Yes, there's nothing wrong with it."
Well, wait. You were at our house and I had ordered this nice iron from Amazon that steams, it has all the settings that you loved.
It was really nice. I was like,
So
it
it's
was gliding
probably,
over my clothing.
it was, and you really enjoyed it. So it's probably $40 for the iron. But what I'm saying is, you will spend $300 on a steak dinner,
Yes.
but won't buy the $40 iron. That's confusing to me. So like for me, I like food, but I don't love it like that. I don't eat $300 worth of food in 1 week.
Oh, a nice ribeye.
Yeah.
That
So for me, if it
oh,
costs too much, I want to split
nice
it with
filet.
someone. If it costs too much, I can split it with somebody. You want to split? I used to be able to split with Jackson, but he doesn't split with me anymore. But instead of buying $300 worth of food, I might want to buy a nice outfit.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying the iron is not broken. It is working properly. It's still getting the wrinkles out. I have no problems with it. I've had it for about 10 years and it is going strong. It is going strong. It is not sticking on the bottom or anything. So I thought about it when I left your house and I was like, that iron is really nice. But do I need to really spend $60 to buy a new iron?
Right. So that goes back to my whole point. So we're going to circle back around. That goes back to my whole point that your limit is going to be very low. When we find the man that you're going to marry on this show, your limit is going to be very low because you don't even want to spend $40 for an iron. Hear me out. We have concluded on this topic and situation. She is not going to go over her limit. She's looking at me when I say 500. She will probably be less than that.
Okay, I do before we move on. Before we move on, prenups. What do you think about prenups? I've seen and heard this conversation on
Well, it
TV, on
depends.
podcasts. If you are going into two single people, let's use this scenario.
Okay.
One party, doesn't matter who, the male or the female, you get to pick your side you want to be on, has substantially more wealth and financial security than the other side.
Okay.
And they want to get married. The individual you pick, male or female side of things, the one with the most money and the most assets says, I would like to get a prenup before we get married. What do you think about that?
Well, if I'm coming into it, and he has a substantial amount of money, more than me, I don't think that I would mind signing the prenup. I would sign the prenup. However, once we got married, now the money that you make while we're married, that's what we're gonna have to put that back in the clause. And then also, I think kids. Once you have kids, I think that is another uh, variable that you have to add to the situation. So I personally would be okay with signing a prenup if they had way more than me. Now, I don't know that I would ask anyone to sign a prenup. Well, maybe if I hit the lottery before I got married and I hit the lottery, I'm probably going to ask you to sign a prenup. But, I do think there is a stigma around the prenups because it's like, oh, your relationship is not going to work or it's doomed before you start. But me personally, I wouldn't mind signing a prenup.
I would absolutely sign a prenup. If someone wanted to sign a prenup, especially I'm with you, the money and the assets that you have before, especially, I have to think about I'm older now. And if he's coming in with kids, with assets, maybe he has some other homes that were passed down through his family and different things like that. I I just don't feel like I have any right to it, right? And so I don't have any problem with that. And like you said, moving forward, after we are married, now anything both of us earn at that point
Yeah.
is, you know,
So
it's
then
ours.
it's
But
ours. So if anything shall happen after that point forward, I'm going to take the coins
right. And
with
that's
me.
and that's not to say that even if you sign that prenup that the money that he's accumulated or I have accumulated before would not be used to support us during the marriage. I am just saying, in the event that something happens, these things um, would fall under that prenuptial agreement where these are not assets or things that you can touch. Me, myself, coming in, obviously, I'm like the little old lady who lived in the shoe. I don't have any biological kids, but I have kids via my godmother status, and
Mhm.
all of my kids, unless I change something with what I'm doing uh, with my assets and in real estate, unless I make a change or sell or uh, decide to do something different with my properties, they're all going to my kids. And so if I were to get married to someone, the assets and things that I have accumulated over time and over my life, I don't care that we are getting married and that we are becoming one and he's going to be my husband and all of those things. I'll love him uh, hopefully until the end of time, but he doesn't have access to Jackson's home. In my mind, he doesn't get to, if we don't work out, he doesn't get to say half of that is mine,
But
or
I
that
think
you need to sell that. So definitely, I personally would, moving forward, since you got me internet dating with Hear Me Out podcast now.
yes, I do.
So for all of the potential suitors out there, I definitely, any relationship, serious relationship that I get into moving forward, and we are talking about the next steps, I am going to have a prenup. 100%.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. She will have a prenup, and I'm not mad at it. She will. Thinking about we're getting older, it's just crazy to think we're
It's real
getting
crazy.
older. So, one of my favorite people on social media is Miss Melanie with the We Do Not Care Club.
And we definitely
And
do not care.
we do not care. And I want to hit a topic with you because we are at the age and actually experiencing the symptoms. So, for you all that do not know, Miss Melanie with the We Do Not Care Club is for women who are experiencing perimenopause, menopause, or postmenopause, however you want to say it. And I could not sleep one night, and she popped up on my feed, and she said, "I don't understand. I didn't understand that a symptom of perimenopause was your ear itching." And it was the craziest thing because the night before, I would just wake up and I would start scratching. Just one ear itches. So I didn't realize that was a perimenopause symptom, but I have that one.
Well, I'm glad you can actually wake up to scratch your ear, because I'm not sleeping. So I can't even go to sleep at night.
Well, you can't
It's rough.
sleep. It's rough. So, hear me out, viewers. What are some of your symptoms if you are at the age that you are experiencing them? What are some? And it's a real thing. So, it's so crazy. I was starting to have night sweats. So, I would go to bed cold, and then I would wake up and just be flaming hot, like on fire, like fighting the covers. And I'm like, turn the air on. I'm so hot. Now, I went to bed in a onesie because I'm freezing. And I didn't know this, but one of my doctors recommended taking magnesium.
Mm-hmm.
And I started taking fish oil and magnesium, and my night sweats have kind of ceased. Nothing.
I would like to say, we are
Now, I
not
don't know if that
physicians on
works.
this
We are not
stuff.
physicians. I'm
We-
just saying what works for me.
We are not telling you to go out and take magnesium or anything else
Absolutely.
as it relates to your symptoms. You need to consult a doctor for
Yes.
that.
But like these are symptoms that are just so crazy. And I don't understand why we as women, now we're talking about it because we're at the age and all of our friends are dealing with the symptoms, but it is a real thing. And I don't remember hearing people discuss it, or maybe I did and just missed it. But the craziness of how perimenopause can make you feel. I'll be wake up and I'll have energy. I'm like, I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do 100 things. And guys, by 2 o'clock, I literally, my eyes are so heavy that I'm like, okay, I need to take a 20-minute power in this office to survive the rest of the day. And then around 10 o'clock, I'm like, I need to clean the house. I need to go to the grocery store. I need to watch a movie. I need to eat some food. Craziness.
I mean, I think her description of basically saying we do not care, I think perfectly sums up everything that you deal with, right? Everything that comes to your way, issues, it's like, oh, I used to care about that. Why don't I care about that anymore? It's like, okay, whatever. It becomes survival, right? I have to survive this. Whatever it is going on, and what you have going on is not important at this moment, because I
We do
feel
not
like I'm
care.
about to turn into something.
Yeah, and this the range of emotions, um, the brain fog for me. I'm like, I'll walk in a room and I'm like, why did I come in here? Or I could be mid sentence and all of a sudden it's like my brain quit activating. I'm like,
You sound like Trina, one of our other friends. She's like,
what happened?
I'm not sure what I'm thinking about right now, but I'll I'll have to call you back. It's like there's so much going on where and you talk about being hot. I'm already a person who gets hot anyway. And so I will sweat anyway. And sometimes I just have to, hang one foot from under the covers. I feel like that helps me.
It works.
I
It
feel
does
like that
work.
helps me a little bit. I don't know. I think it's psychological because there's no way hanging one foot out of the bed
It
or
does
off the
work.
bed is going to help you.
It helps me. I don't know what other women it helps, but it helps me because I put one foot out and
Oh
it
man.
cools you off. But it's just crazy. So, what are some symptoms and signs that you're having? And anybody that has passed perimenopause and menopause, how long did it last? Because everything that I'm reading, we still have a lot of time.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But this is for another episode, another show, right? But I have been dealing with our extra friend. And for my guys who are listening, us women, we know who that extra friend is that comes and visits us every month. Um, I have been dealing with her since I was 10. So I was 10 years old when I started my period. And so that's a long time to be dealing with something that has to do um, with your cycle and just kind of with being a woman, right? And I'm about done with it. I don't
Why?
know that I can really control it myself, but I'm about done with it.
Well, we do not care. So, yes, we are done with it. I think to myself, why did Eve eat the apple? I feel like men, they go through things. We love you, men. Y'all go through things. But women, we go through some things. And so, for today's announcements on the We Do Not Care Club, please tell us. We would love to have you on the show, Melanie, but please tell us on Hear Me Out, what are some things you no longer care about? Now that perimenopause has hit, what do you not care about? But before we close the show, we got to go quickly to 94 feet. If you know, you know.
Let's get
Bring
it.
that defensive heat. All right. So, thinking of good looking
Oh,
black males. You only have one choice, coach. You always get confused on this segment. One choice.
attractive black men.
Boris
Okay.
Kojo or Morris Chestnut.
Wow. You making me pick?
One choice. We already went over the rules before we started.
I'm going Morris because I know you're going to pick the other one.
All day
I know you're
long.
going to pick the other one, so
Oh,
I can't leave those guys out hanging.
okay.
Morris
Both
Chestnut.
good looking guys, but you know me very well. Boris, it is. Bologna or a hot dog?
I'm going fried bologna all day, and I need to let it get bubble up in the top so I can, put the little slit in there in the
Now
hole.
you
Let it get crispy around the edges. Some crispy bologna
So you
sandwiched together.
know a dinner bologna sandwich is just the bologna with the white bread, right? When you want to do breakfast bologna, you put that fried egg on it. Holla at me if you know about that fried egg and put it down
Oh,
there. But I'm gonna do a bologna sandwich, even though I do like a good grilled hot dog. Apple Jacks or Fruit Loops?
ooh, Apple Jacks.
Fruit Loops all day. Fruit Loops. Okay, when you think about iconic commercials in your childhood, like Mike or Oscar Mayer bologna commercial?
Oscar Mayer bologna commercial.
Can you sing it?
No.
I do like Oscar Mayer, but I'm going like
You
Mike.
going like Mike? I
Gatorade,
like
like
Mike.
Mike. Okay. Ben and Jerry's ice cream or Bluebell?
Bluebell.
Ooh, I'm with you, Bluebell.
Bluebell.
Banana pudding. Oh, if you hadn't tried it, banana pudding ice cream is amazing. Last one. I know you're in the movies. One. Dirty Dancing or fried green tomatoes?
Dirty Dancing.
All day.
Patrick Swayze, I'm done. Dirty Dancing.
Do not put baby in the corner.
Don't put baby in the corner.
Well, thank you all for listening to another episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, retweet, all of it. Make sure that you hit us up. We look forward to hearing from you. Peace out.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Ooh, real talk, we don't play around. Hit that play. Let the truth come out. Stay tuned in, stay tuned.